It is time for yet another
true crime.
True crime. This time we're going to go ooky spooky.
Let's get a little weird. Well, we're always weird, but this is like spooky paranormal.
Paranormal. Weird. So it's true crime paranormal. Are you ready?
Let's get freaky. Not freaky. Nope,
wow.
sorry.
Let's just go.
Creepy. Let's go. Let's fuck it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Jello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up.
Freaky style.
Freaky. That is such a wrong.
So some creepy, paranormal, haunted type, weird.
So we're just going to go ahead. You're going to do, what are we doing? What are you doing?
I am going to talk about the Bennington Triangle. It's in Vermont. So you've all heard of the Bermuda Triangle. This is kind of like a smaller area, kind of based on some very strange happenings, strange occurrences, disappearances, things like that. So near Glastonbury Mountain in Vermont, this is like a 36 square mile patch of wilderness. It's pretty big, vast, open forest type. Lots of trails, lots of people hike, people go out there for camping, things like that. But it's known for a lot of strange events, disappearances, and paranormal activity. So the central location of this said triangle area is Glastonbury, the town, which was once a logging and mining town, like back centuries ago.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it was actually abandoned in the late 1800s. So it's now an unincorporated ghost town. There's no government. There's no central government. There's no I think there may be a few people that live there.
I was going to say, do people still live?
I think it said one. Now there's a couple abandoned ghost towns in this area, like in this triangle. That's just one of them. And I think it said one had like 6 residents or something.
Oh.
So they're not, yeah.
Talk about an
like
introvert.
People live there, but it's very, like it's not a town
So
anymore.
Like if I were to just be driving down the road and I come upon this place, they would shoot me.
I don't know.
Like literally, because I'm a stranger. Okay.
Like Wrong Turn. Is that the movie I'm thinking of?
Oh, that's when they go in the woods and the people are all like mangled. Like they're like creatures because they've
I'm thinking
bred.
of I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what these people are like or why they still live there or if they do or if they just visit there. I don't know. But it sounds like they're pretty much uninhabited for the most part and they're kind of just left to rot, these towns.
Okay.
But people do visit a lot for tourism and stuff like that. People camp there, they hike, they do all these things. So it's a pretty big attraction, like tourism type of area. And there's been books and articles and stuff written. And I think the term was coined like in the 90s by an author who was doing some paranormal research and things like that about the area. And he thought, we'll just call it the Bennington Triangle. So the biggest thing was between the 1940s and 1950s where at least 5 people disappeared. And they're kind of never really figured out what happened. So it started with Carol Herrick. He was the first person to go missing, November 1943. Now, this was a husband, father of 5 kids. He was an avid hunter, knew the area. He'd been out there. He'd done that. He knew his stuff. He wasn't just some average visitor. Like, he knew his stuff. He went out hunting with his cousin and just disappeared. He just disappeared.
So the cousin came back, though?
It sounds like the cousin came back. I didn't read too much on what happened exactly, but it was only him that disappeared.
Well, I know a lot of people that hunt, just because my family does, they don't sit in the same spot.
Right,
like
they have a different blind or a different...
Right, this one goes here, that one goes there, and then you meet together at the end of your hunting day.
That's probably what... They must have split up, and then he came back and couldn't find him. But they did find his gun propped up against a tree, but they couldn't tell if it had been shot, or... One article said that they found one empty casing, that like maybe he had shot a bullet. One said that it was unused. One said that no evidence was found.
So it's question mark.
Right. They don't really know. But they did actually end up finding his body. This is the only one that most of them, they never found his body. They never figured it out. Okay. But this one, after a few days, they did find his body. But the autopsy showed, he had scratches on his arms and face. He had apparently been squeezed to death, and his ribs were broken, his lungs were punctured, and the autopsy reported something. I couldn't get a lot of details on this, but that his face had been blackened almost as if like the life had been snuffed out of him. So they're like, could this have been like a bear paw smashing his face? Could it have... But there weren't... Some people said that...
To be squeezed
right?
to death
Squeezed
in the woods?
A bear hug, maybe, but
I mean,
like...
I could understand if a rock fell on him, or...
Yeah, some theories are that maybe he saw a bear, shot it, thought it was dead, and when they went to check, it attacked him. Okay, but there are not really reportings of bears, or like...
I was going to say...
It's not a thing to...
I feel like if it was a bear's not going to just hug you to death.
Right.
A bear is going to mangle you. You're not just going to have
Snuff
scratches.
the light out of your face, turn your face black,
I mean,
scratch you,
maybe
puncture
the bear
your lungs.
sat on his face. I mean,
maybe. Who knows? But there's too much there for it to be bear, I think. But maybe it was a bear paw. But they're not sure. They know that he was separated from his cousin, and
Okay, so question, real quick. Sorry, I know you're in the middle of a train of thought.
Yeah.
Were there caves?
I don't know. See, I do know, and I only read this in one area. I checked multiple sources, but it used to be there's like old abandoned mine shafts and stuff.
So here's my thing. Maybe he went down in one of those,
right?
In the different chemical fumes, whatever, in the bottom, and he did get out, but something about it just
like pressurized or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you want to take this not paranormal, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder...
And the scratches could be from anything.
From
debris,
him climbing out.
Or, yeah. And the
like,
punctured
you know what I mean?
lung, that could be.
Because a scratch to me is not a bear ripping your flesh open. That's just like a scratch from a tree branch, right?
Right,
like
that could be anything, yeah. Because it didn't give details on that. And that is a very big possibility in what I thought. Because mining stuff is so... There's so many old mines and so many entrances, and... It very well could have fallen down like an old unmarked abandoned mine shaft or something like that. But the fact that his body did reappear, like maybe he did try to get out, but
maybe he climbed out.
They searched him for them to not find him for 3 days, and then he just appeared. I don't know. That one was the first one. Maybe it was
aliens.
Maybe. So there are a lot of theories. Yeah. There are a lot of theories because this is not just any old area. This goes way back. So I'm going to get a little history first because this guy, he was not necessarily one of the strange occurrences. A lot of the ones they list, they don't even list him. They leave him out of it.
You said this was the 50s?
Yeah. This was the 40s.
40s.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Long time ago. And since then, they have not really reported since the 50s, they've not really reported any disappearances like this. Still strange occurrences.
But no disappearances like this.
It's like it all happened within a span of 5 years.
Oh, listen, we didn't say it in this episode. We said it in the previous one, though. I have baby goats. Right now, they are on the back porch, and they want in, so...
Oh, my laugh kind of sounds like a baby goat. Maybe they're trying to join in.
Maybe. They probably hear my voice because I am their mom, literally.
Mama.
I bottle feed them, so they're very... So they are right now on my porch. They have found us, so... I'm sorry if you hear a little... But it's so cute. Just enjoy it. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
So this area... Like I said, it is known for its strange paranormal, supernatural-ish stuff. There are so many things. Going all the way back, hundreds of years ago, Native Americans believed the whole area was cursed, but that it was also sacred. They believe in what they called a man-eating rock.
Huh?
A man-eating rock.
You said like it so fast. I was like, what's a man-eating rock?
Legend warned of this malevolent stone in the mountains that would open up and devour anyone unlucky enough to step on it.
Okay, hold on. Have you ever seen Moana?
Yeah.
How they do the dance at the top of the stone and the stone opens and they go into the underworld? That. Oh my god. I figured it out.
It reminds me of like Outlander too. Like how she travels through time through the... No. It kind of something like that. But nobody has ever really said if they've seen this stone or if like where it could be. But that's
just a legend?
That's a... Okay, cool. Certain tribes believed that was there. Okay. And there's... talks of like mysterious cults out in the wilderness, like weird activity. Of course, we've got the abandoned ghost towns. We've got people still to this day will see strange lights in the sky, strange activity like UAP, UFO type of things, weird sounds, weird smells, animal mutilations, like I said, UFO sightings. There's so many things. I feel like...
with how we just like all of a sudden know that aliens exist and it's a whole thing now, I feel like this is like that.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Now, there have also been multiple cryptid sightings. So we're talking, this is a Bigfoot-like creature. They don't know if it's Bigfoot. They call it the Glastonbury Monster, but it sounds a lot like Bigfoot, the way to describe it. And this goes back to even the 1800s. There's reports of a horse-drawn carriage that was attacked by a large, hairy, overgrown creature that like
it was Harry Henderson.
Maybe it like flipped the car or the carriage and attacked the people. And they said they saw massive footsteps in the mud. Some people say that Carol Herrick had footsteps in the mud.
So there was no...
So maybe he was
There's
attacked
no
by that
monkeys
monster.
in this area. You said Vermont, right? There's like no
Vermont.
random monkeys. Just...
Right. So they have encounters with like, I can't remember if it was cougars or mountain lions many, many years ago. Very, very rare.
But that's not like a massive, giant, hairy man monkey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like actual known to us animals, it is very rare to see anything that is large enough around there to attack something.
Okay.
So this is some type of cryptid mythological thing going on. And this story, it's multiple encounters. People have seen this or, claim to see this. So we've got this Bigfoot-like creature possibility too. And that lines up with that Carol Herrick story of how,
Being
he
crushed.
could have squeezed him. He could have snuffed his life out. He could
Maybe,
have...
oh my god, Bigfoot just needed a hug and he
Maybe.
hugged a little too hard.
Maybe it's Bigfoot's evil brother. Because I always think of Bigfoot not being evil. I don't know. I mean, dude.
I have a sign right here that says, warning, do not feed the
And
Sasquatch.
a magnet.
I did. My son is still obsessed with Bigfoot, so that's why.
I've always just thought of him as like fucking existing, bro. Like, just out there doing his thing.
I feel like, okay, we probably talked about this before, but like if Bigfoot was mean, we would have more stories.
Right?
Because we would find more creatures mutilated or
Yeah.
humans mutilated or something along those lines. So I don't think he's a mean
And maybe
person.
it's one of those that, not shapeshifters, but like something that becomes that, I don't know, because there's
Transformer.
too many... Yeah, Transformer. There's too many... alien type of theories with this. So you got the weird sounds, the weird smells, the strange lights in the sky. You've got animal mutilations they've seen, like things out in the woods. There's also accounts of strange, creepy voices heard on the radios in the area that they can't explain. There's erratic compass behavior. Like, this could be paranormal.
I'm sorry, I'm going alien.
Paranormal. It could be due to just natural magnetic anomalies, but a lot of times when you see that kind of stuff happening, you're also seeing weird other occurrences that all signs point to aliens,
Yeah.
It reminds me of what is the show that I watch? Why can I never remember the name of it?
House. I know you
It's
watched
a
that.
documentary about the area that they you know what I'm talking about?
Fleshwalkers.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Thank you.
It reminds me of that a little bit.
Okay.
With
I
the
never watched
anomalies
that.
and their phones go crazy and their compasses and all their electronics and I mean, yeah, maybe there's some kind of magnetic thing going on, but usually they're related.
I've seen Stranger Things and like all their magnetic things
Right?
go wrong and then now we have the upside down. So
Right.
maybe that is like vaguely true.
Exactly.
And like this is
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because there are also talks of, and this is
Interesting.
something with Skinwalker Ranch too, like almost like portals or windows that open up. They believe there's windows out there that open up to other dimensions or other, they call them demon doors or things like that, where they think that things are getting through, going in and going out. Maybe these close and open up again. Maybe it just hasn't come through again. Because this is where it gets weird, is that...
Oh, none of this was weird before. At all. Nothing.
that the fact that these... I'm going to go a little further into the next few disappearances during that time, but they were all similar, but no pattern. So
Okay.
the timing was similar. Okay, I'll get back to
I
that.
was going to say, just tell the story, because that's
So
confusing.
the next one was Mitty Rivers. This was a 74-year-old local hunter. Again, he's an avid hunter, hiker. He knew the area. He knew the woods. He was leading groups out to hunt, to hike. He knew what he was doing out there. He knew what he was walking into. He knew how to keep himself protected. Anyway, I guess he got ahead of the group, told him he'd meet him later. I don't know what happened, if they sat down for camp time or something, whatever. He never returned. So he disappeared, completely gone, just never to be seen again. There were like not many details on that one, which is really weird. But I do know that they sent out massive searches. It wasn't just like we have a local search group and law enforcement. They had like National Guard came in. They had aircraft. They had they went all out
to find this man.
for weeks and never found a single
Still to this
stitch.
day, nothing.
No,
Okay.
never any idea. And then so maybe he went down a mine shaft. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the aliens took him.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm going with aliens
Like
on
he
this
knows
one.
this area. Like I don't know.
Aliens are still a question mark in my
Right?
mind, but this is just all seems
Yeah. all
alien-esque.
signs point to- Yeah.
That's a word? No. I made it a word. It is now. Alien-esque. Put it in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. there you have it, folks. Alien-esque. We're done. That's it. We know.
Thank you for listening. No, I'm joking.
So next comes Paula Weldon. She's a college student. She went missing hiking along the Long Trail in 1946. I believe it's around pretty close to where this other guy disappeared. So I guess she hitched a ride with a local man, like someone she knew and seen. She said, "Hey, you're heading that way. Can you drop me off at the trail?"
Right, okay.
He said, "Okay." Waved goodbye to her. Saw her. She was wearing a red jacket, like something bright that showed up. He knew she was wearing a red jacket. They had seen her. They all knew what she was doing. "I'm going to go out and hike. I'll be back in a couple hours." She disappeared off the face of the planet, never to be seen again. Pretty sure this is one that's just like actually still considered an open case that the parents never gave up. They never closed.
Yeah.
But they don't know. They have no idea, no trail of what happened. Just that she went off the road to that trail and never came back, and she was wearing a red jacket. Okay.
No clothing or anything was ever found, like a shoe or nothing.
Not that I could find. Next we have James Tedford, 68-year-old. He was an Army vet. He was taking a bus trip to visit some family in the area. This is 1949, so still in the same few years. He was confirmed to be seen on the bus the entire way, all the way up until the last stop. Some reported that he had been asleep. Some reported that he was talking to people, but he was seen all the way to that very last stop. Between that last stop and their destination, which was not very far, I think it passed a very specific point in the Glastonbury area. It was right in that whole little triangle, right in between there somewhere. He just vanished off that bus. They never saw him get off that bus. They don't know how it happened.
So wait, he was sitting in a chair one minute and the next minute he wasn't.
And he was gone. Between the last stop and the destination.
I feel like that's not right.
And his belongings are still there. He didn't take them with him.
I feel like he probably did get off on that last stop, maybe at the last second, and then they thought maybe. Because I just can't see. Like,
but again, never ever found his body again. Like, nobody ever found where he went. And his stuff was still all on the bus.
Jeez.
And it was a quick, it wasn't like, boom, he was there when they stopped. They all saw it. The bus gets going again. Like, everyone, there were like 14 passengers, I think, that all confirmed he was still there when they took off from that last stop. They're just like,
maybe he jumped out the back door and everyone was asleep.
Maybe. But why not? Where would his body be? You'd think it would be along. It's so weird. Like, I don't know. Why didn't he take his stuff with him? I don't know. Okay. Then we've got, this will be maybe a year later, an 8-year-old boy. This one got me hard because I have an 8-year-old boy. Like, this is hard. Right. Paul Jepson was his name. It sounds like his family worked for a local farm in that little area, and the mother was feeding the farm animals and had him with her, and she briefly left him in the family pickup truck, inside the cab of the truck. Didn't go far, wasn't gone long. When she came back, he was gone, completely gone, just vanished. They don't know, maybe he could have been kidnapped, but like, this was like a farm, pretty, it was pretty remote. It wasn't like, maybe it was along a highway. I'm not sure on the details of that, but she wasn't gone that long. And for him to get it, maybe he got out and wandered out into the woods, but never found a trace of him. So
okay, so I know you said they searched for that one man a lot. Did they search for each one of these people?
They did. Okay, they all had very extensive searches.
Okay.
This one, they even brought out the bloodhounds for the little boy, and the bloodhounds tracked him all the way up to the highway. Like, they sniffed him out, and that's where they stopped, and they thought he was there. Never found him. His body was not there, which is weird because that is the exact area where Paula Weldon disappeared as well. That same area of that highway where she started her hiking trail. Mm-hmm. Also wearing a red coat. They were both wearing red coats. A red coat. Yeah. So that's one similarity, aliens. Right? It's like, oh, red coat. Like, let's pick them up. They're standing out. Maybe red is a color that they need to, I don't know. Then lastly, we have Frida Langer. This one I read about a lot. And I don't know why she was so significant, but maybe because her body actually was found.
Oh, okay.
This is the only other one that her body was found, but it just can't be explained. So this is a woman, I believe she's in her 50s. I may be wrong on that. She was out hiking with her cousin. It sounds like they were camping, and her husband sat back at the campsite. He had an injured leg or something, so he didn't go with them. But she was hiking with her cousin. She fell into a creek, just a shallow creek, not a big deal. Got muddy and wet. It's like, I'm going to run back to the campsite, change my clothes. I'll be right back. So her husband stood there and waited for her. Her husband, mind you, is at the campsite. In between there, somewhere, They never found her. She just disappeared. Husband never saw her at the campsite. Cousin never saw her return. So between running back to change her clothes, she's gone. Vanished. No idea. Gone. That's all we know. Until 6 months later, they found her body several miles from the campsite near a reservoir. Now, this was an open area that had been searched extensively. They have searched this area over and over. 6 months later, her body just appears there, laying in the open field, whatever. Cause of death not determined due to severe decomposition, obviously.
You said 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah. They have no idea. No idea what happened to her. So, 2 of the bodies, this would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that's 6 occurrences.
In 2 bodies.
Yeah. The only, so some are like, okay, it's a serial killer. No, there's no pattern.
I'm sorry. This is one of those weird things where it makes me think aliens are real.
It has to be. There's no pattern other than 2 are wearing a red coat. And this did happen. These all happened between 3 and 4 p.m.
Oh.
Same time of day. All of them. And they all happened within the last 3 months of the year.
That's so weird, this was a 3-month span?
Yeah. Well, different years.
Oh, different years.
Different years, but 3 months apart.
October, November,
Some
December.
of them were very close together. Like within the same year, I think.
Okay.
But all within those last 3 months between 3 and 4 p.m. And 2 of them wearing a red. Those are the only similarities, only connections as far as patterns go. So it's not like, oh, there's a serial killer out there that only kills between 3 and 4 p.m.
After that, nothing.
Right. Nothing.
After would you say the 50s was the last one, 1950?
Other than weird occurrences and like anomalies, things like that, there is no, I could not find any more reports of, I think there have been some murders out there that have been solved, but there's no like disappearances out there.
So we just learned something very important today. Do not go to, where was it?
Glastonbury.
Don't do it. In Vermont. Just ignore that area because you could be kidnapped by an alien. I mean, even though that was the 50s and now it's different. I just wouldn't. Like, hike somewhere else. Like, for real. That's crazy.
That was one that just really, really got me. I don't know. All these weeks and weeks of search. I read they brought FBI in. They had National Guard in. Like, they really searched for these people. I'm sure they looked in every crevice and cave and everything they could.
Right. I mean, especially if you bring in, like, the big dogs. Like you said, the FBI and the National Guard. Like, they know how to search for people. They're trained.
So crazy. I don't know.
There's, like, literally no other...
Right.
What else could it be?
Yeah. It has to be aliens or some other dimension creature that came through a portal at a certain time.
It was Vecna.
Yeah, right fucking Vecna, dude.
Dude, he's coming back soon. You know that, right? They're about to drop that new season, and I am
Dude, if you watch Stranger Things, okay, like, I know every season is different, but Vecna haunted... I loved it.
You've said this before.
But it was a different kind. It didn't really scare me. It was more of like a close to home kind of eerie. Like, I loved it, but it was like my sleep paralysis demon. Like, holy fuck.
See, Vecna did nothing for me. I'm like,
I loved
that's a dumb creature.
Really?
I don't know. He's scary. He's good for Stranger Things, but I
found him so cool. I don't know. It was good. But yeah. So this is weird. It's my thought is there is some kind of portal window to another dimension out there, and some creatures that come through.
Aliens, and
but the aliens could be connected.
In the 40s and 50s, there's a lot of people who disappeared with bunny quotes.
Right.
And maybe that's when they finally came down and started experimenting on humans, because we know nothing about them. Even
just like with Skinwalker Ranch, so much of that stuff has happened out there, and I
really need to watch that because you talk about it so often. Like I
would like to do a whole episode on that, but it's it's a weird thing. It's very similar to that. A lot of the same stuff. Like, my thing is, okay, maybe the aliens are not in the sky. Maybe they're not coming from space. Maybe they're just in, like, parallel dimensions and they're coming through these portals. Because that would explain why creatures, cryptids, why the cryptids and the aliens all seem to happen in the same areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe these windows, these portals are just uncontrolled doorways that things just go in and out and they can't. So maybe, who's to say Bigfoot and the green aliens aren't coming through the same door.
I don't think they're green,
or whatever.
I know,
aliens.
But okay.
I think there's all kinds of colored aliens out there. I love you all as long as you're nice to me.
I know, right?
That's all I have on those guys. Bennington Triangle, no thank you.
Please turn around, go home and collect your $200.
Right. Do not wear a red coat.
Do not go, period. Okay, so I took this assignment. A totally different fucking view, okay?
I love that.
I know, me too. But I did a case that, like, everyone in the world has heard of.
Yeah.
Right? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. It's about well, you know, so that's not going to work. I was going to be like, give you clues and see if you could guess, but I told you what it was, so that makes no sense. I might butcher this name a million times because it's a hard one. Like, it's saying it several times is hard. Amityville House.
Amityville. It's such a fun word.
It really is.
It's not a fun house.
Okay, so we've all heard of the Amityville Horror, the movie, the book, right? the like franchise, all of that stuff. This is the actual story of what happened, not the glorified TV show or movie. I mean, the book is apparently very similar to this story because it's them telling this story.
Yeah.
But it's not the movie. It's not... I know most humans have you ever seen it?
Bits and pieces.
I was going to say, most humans have seen it. It's a scary one, obviously, if you don't know. Yeah. Go watch it. It's pretty good. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to tell the story. I hear a frog and my chicken at the same time. God, I love living out here. The windows are open, so it's great. Okay, so in 1960, we're going back. Not as far back as you, but we went back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're like, we're about to start a horror movie of our own.
Right. The DeFeo. D-E-F-E-O. DeFeo? I don't want to say it wrong, but...
What is the content? What is it?
It's a last name.
Oh, okay. Last name.
Yes.
Okay.
The family moved into 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. I always want to add it in there. Amity. I don't know why. Amityville, New York. Ronald was the father. He was a car dealership manager. Okay. Cool. He was a very strict, proud man. He was often angry for, like, no fucking reason. Like, he was one of those. We all know one of those dicks. Yes. He was one of those. Louise was the mother. She stayed home with the children. She was very sweet, very quiet. She doted on her children.
Goes that way.
Literally,
sweet lady
right?
With an angry husband.
She tried her hardest just to stay out of her husband's way. Like, she would keep the kids out of the way. Like, you need to be quiet, dad's home kind of situation. Like, horrible. I mean, you should never have to do that. But... they had 5 children, Mark, John, Dawn, Allison, and the eldest son, Ronald Jr., but everyone called him Butch. So Butch is the oldest. Ronald Sr. was extremely abusive towards Butch. He expected Butch to be a certain way, and Butch was not that way. The way I read it, it was like he wanted him to be that hard worker he was. Yeah. He wanted him to do
what you're Ronald Jr., you better hold my name up high, you know.
Like he was, it never said the words he beat him, but I'm assuming it got aggressive multiple times just because the way it read, he had to have. Butch had already had mental problems to begin with. Like, he would kind of go days where he wouldn't talk, or days where he would just lock himself in a room, or days where... But this is also the fucking 60s, so mental health was not a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to get the fuck up, and you need to go outside, and you need to work. You know what I mean? He had issues that we didn't acknowledge at that time. When he was a teenager, he was kicked out of school, got in fights, was in jail several times, in and out. He never, went to prison, but jail for the night or two because he beat up a friend again, or beat someone up. And then he began using heroin and LSD. So he started drugs, which most kids like this do, especially mental health in the 60s. There's not much. The drugs helped, right?
Something, yeah.
He would threaten family members. He actually pulled a gun on Ronald Sr. once because he was fucking with him so much. His mom talked him down. And then very, very soon after, it's like he didn't remember any of it. He didn't remember being angry. He didn't remember pulling the gun. Like, one of the quotes was, he had a gun in his hand. He didn't know why. He didn't know where the gun had came from. Which you can chalk that. Some mental illnesses can do that. But... I don't know. There's a lot of buts in here. Like, is it this way or is it that way kind of situation?
Yeah. It's like, is it a blackout or... Yeah.
Right, exactly. Despite all of this, despite the anger and the kid getting kicked out of school and the drugs and everything, his family kept giving him money. Here you go. We're going to help you. Here you go. We're going to help you. And his father actually got him a job at the car dealership. They wanted him to do better. They wanted to help him. And obviously, once again, back then, we didn't know how to help people like this. We just gave them everything we had, and then they shit all over us. Like, that's how it was, how it is still today sometimes.
Still goes that way sometimes.
Exactly. So, on November 13th, 1974, at 3:15 a.m., Butch walked through his house with a rifle and shot every member of his family as they slept. All the kids, mom and dad. He then turned them all face down in their bed. No neighbors at all reported hearing any gunshots. I mean, their neighbors were close, but not that close. and then it's 3:15 a.m. So, I mean, if it's far enough away, I mean, we live in the country and I don't hear stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I can see why no neighbors would hear anything.
Yeah.
At first, Butch tried to play this innocence. Like, he ran to the closest local bar and he ran inside saying, my entire family's been murdered. They've all been shot. Please come help me. Whatever. So obviously the police came and everything like that. And they arrested him because he was the only living one. Mm-hmm. He's the only one alive. Within 24 hours, his story completely changed. He confessed to saying, once I started, I just couldn't stop. It all went so fast. So he claimed he did it almost 24 hours later. But then came the claims of the voices told him to. They told me to kill my family. They were controlling me. Like, it went from I did it to the voices made me did it. He said that they actually told him step by step what to do. Like a directional guide on how to murder your family kind of situation. Yeah. He said he was possessed at the time of the murders. He had no control over his actions, and he did not remember parts of the killings at all. Like, he did not remember the order he killed them. He did not remember little stuff like that. He also claimed that a shadowy figure handed him the rifle, and he is who guided him through the murders.
So this sounds like a little more than just schizophrenia.
Butch DeFeo, he was inconsistent as fuck. Like, it was never the same. At one point, he even said his sister did it. His sister talked him into doing it because they had a conversation about how can we get rid of Dad. And she talked him into doing it. So it kind of jumped around with all of that. And it was like, it's paranormal. It's not paranormal. He's got mental issues. He doesn't have mental issues. All of that. He was actually convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. He's talked to reporters. He's talked to lawyers. Years later, he still claims that the house had a dark force long before they moved in. He said his mental health problems did not happen until they moved into this house. He credits the mental problems to the house itself, the dark, dark house. Okay, not even a full year later in December. Well, actually, I guess it was a full year. A year and a month later, in December 1975, the house was purchased by the Lutz family. This is the second family in the house. George was Nope, he was not a farmer. He was a former Marine. Okay, I wrote that wrong. I wrote farmer Marine. He was
I guess he could have been both.
I guess, yeah. He was a former Marine, and now he worked as a land surveyor. Kathy stayed home with the children. Once again, a doted wife. Like, George was a lot nicer. George was not like Ronald Sr. Right. George was a very kind, sweet family man. Kathy had 3 children from a previous marriage. Danny, who was 9, Christopher was 7, and Missy was 5. So they had 3 small children. They were actually newlyweds when they bought this house. They were told about the murders, and the house was huge. Big, beautiful, everything they needed to raise 3 children. You know what I mean? And it was extremely fucking cheap because of the murders.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? It had 3 stories, a basement, 5 bedrooms, a boathouse, a garage, 6 bathrooms, and a covered front porch.
Dang.
It was huge, and they bought it for $80,000. In the 70s, that seems like a lot maybe for the 70s, but for that size of a house, that's a mansion. Like, that is a fucking mansion. You know what I'm saying? They immediately, the day they moved in, they brought in a Catholic priest to bless the home. They were both very, very big in their faith, Catholic religion. They brought a Catholic priest in to bless this house. Father, I do not want to butcher this, but I'm going to. Father Pecoraro, Pecoraro. We're just going to call him Father. Pecoraro. See, I'm horrible.
I don't know. Pecoraro.
Okay. The father began his ritual on every single room, started on the main floor, worked his way up. When he got to the 3rd floor, which is where John and Mark DeFeo's room was, the 2 brothers. It was the very top floor. He claimed he was suddenly overcome by a strange force, and he heard a disembodied, angry voice say, "Get out." He felt physically ill immediately, and he ran out of the fucking house. He literally didn't even say bye.
This is a priest.
This is the priest.
Was just like,
this is a
nope,
priest. Yes,
not today.
He was starting on that room. I'm assuming holy water, crucifix in hand. You know what I'm saying. On his way on his way home, he claimed his hands began to blister out of nowhere. The next 3 days, he had a high fever and a bad cough and was actually hospitalized. He did try to phone the Lutzes to tell them about this, but their phone line, like, the call always dropped before he could actually speak the words, or there was interference of some kind, or it would be staticky, or something along those lines.
That's
so
goddamn
he
diamonds.
could not tell the Lutz about, until he was out of the hospital and better, and they, met on, Kathy and the father met on a random street one day, and he's like, I never got to tell you. So, for 2 weeks or something like that, I don't know why you would not try a little harder to tell them that, because that's a whole situation. But, okay. George, the father, on the first night they stayed, obviously the father ran out. They didn't really know what was going on. They had heard he was in the hospital, but, they didn't realize it was paranormal. You know what I mean? They knew nothing because he couldn't get a hold of them. On the first night they stayed there, he started waking at 3:15 a.m. from that morning on. Every single morning he slept in that house, he was up at 3:15 a.m. The DeFeos were murdered at 3:15 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah. Every day he grew more and more angry. He didn't know why. He would tell his wife, I'm changing and I hate it. I don't know what's happening to me.
That dark force set in.
That's literally. Kathy had nightmares about the murders almost every night. She would have, she could actually see him walking through the house and shooting people. Which, I mean, if I'm told that story, I might have a nightmare about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You could kind of picture it, visualize it in your brain kind of situation.
Especially if you're living in that
Especially
space.
if you're the mom, you have that remorse and those babies. You know what I mean?
Could never live there. No way, man.
She also claimed that things would touch her. Not violently at first. It was just kind of one of those, the way she described it was a tap on the shoulder and she would turn and no one was there. Just very simple, subtle little things.
Nudges.
Eventually, she was pushed, scratched, and bruised by something completely unseen. It started as simple to being shoved. Very, very fast. One time, it was within the first weeks she lived there. She said she was looking at herself in the mirror, washing her hands, and another person appeared in front of her face.
Ew.
She said she put her head down, looked back up, and then it was her face again.
Oh.
Yeah. They all felt cold spots throughout the house. Foul, I need to slow down. Foul odors would come from nowhere. They'd just be sitting in the living room, reading a book or hanging out, watching TV, and all of a sudden they would smell like putrid ass. And then it would just go away. There was they had people come out, check the foundation. Are there dead animals? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Just the stench of evil.
Yes. They would all, including the children, see the doors open and close right in front of them, just for no reason. And once again, this starts out very subtle at first. The door would simply open, and then the door would simply close. Eventually,
it gets angrier and builds.
Eventually, it was slamming open and slamming closed.
Yeah.
Do you see? It's very. It
just festered, yeah.
And this is all things this entire family claims 100%, and their stories have never changed to this day.
One person is crazy or paranoid. No, this is too much.
In the dead of winter, the sewing room would fill with swarms of flies.
Ooh.
For no reason, and they could not get them out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Crucifixes would turn upside down during the night. They'd go to bed because they're very heavily Catholic, so they had them around their home. Every morning they'd wake up and they'd be upside down.
Something strong enough to mess with the holy power. That's
yeah. Missy, the 5-year-old little girl, she had a brand new imaginary friend after they moved in there. She described him as a pig-like creature with red glowing eyes.
Oh.
He would talk to her about just fun stuff at first, but then he would tell her things like, I can't be seen by anyone else unless I want them to see me. Because she would say, why can't my mommy see you? Why can't my daddy see you? And then the final thing he ever said to her was, you will live here forever.
Oh.
Yeah, eerie as fuck. They also found, the father found hoof prints in the snow by her window that walked out and never came back. There was no returning footprints. Both of the parents had claimed to see red glowing eyes far off into the house. When you look through your entire house way out there, or they would be outside and just kind of take a glance at their house and they'd be in a window in the attic or something.
Oh, fuck that.
George found a hidden red door in the basement. It was not on any blueprints he could find at all. Oh. And their dog refused to go near it. He would not step anywhere near that. Okay.
Another portal.
They lived in this house for 28 days. That is it. That is not a full month. That's a February month if you want to count it. 28 days.
Jeez.
is the length they lived in this house.
One lunar cycle. That is crazy.
From 28 days, it went from simple, maybe we can deal with a lentil haunting to, oh, fuck. Okay. On January 14th, 1976, the temperature in the house dropped to freezing cold, even with their furnace on high. Wow. They could not warm their house up. They claimed that green slime began to ooze from the walls. Oh. Yeah. Doors began to slam, and furniture was thrown across the house. Pictures fell from the walls. This is all in like a 5-minute span. Like, it was just like, fuck you, pretty much. George claimed that something was trying to take over him. He described it as an animalistic rage. Kathy was actually trying to go to bed, and she said she was thrown across the room. Like, literally picked up and thrown, and she ran downstairs, and all this shit was going on. George, his actual quote was, "We were paralyzed with fear. We didn't know what to do, and it happened so fast." They grabbed what they could on the bottom floor. They left the dog, and they ran out of the door. Bye. They drove to Kathy's mom's house, which wasn't very, like, the next town over or something, and they stayed there until they could find a new home. They did call the neighbors, because I literally specifically looked up about this dog. How the fuck are you going to leave your dog in this? Which, I mean, I guess I can get it. Yeah. Like, if that is actually fucking happening, I'm not worried about my dog. Like, I want my kids out of there and my husband out of there. Don't get me wrong, I love my babies. Maybe just leave the door open for them so they can run away. Yeah. Like, they did call the neighbors, and they got the dog, and the neighbors kept the dog until they were able to come back and get it. So the dog is fine. His name was Henry, if you're curious. Even at Kathy's mother's house, they had paranormal experiences there also, but they were not as severe.
Like, maybe a little lingered or
that's what they thought. It was like that. So George actually contacted a local paranormal group to, like, come and be like, here's my story. Can you help me with this house? About 3 weeks after leaving, George and this paranormal group returned to the house. George wanted to get their belongings because they did not go back after that. Like, they never went back to get the belongings. And he thought, I'm going to bring this group in with me because things are going to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, obviously, things happened. Cameras rolled. They showed it. This paranormal group contacted the Warrens. Do you know the Warrens?
Yes, I know the Warrens.
If you don't know the Warrens, go ahead and Google them. I would love to do an episode on the Warrens. Yeah. They're, like, the most highly known paranormal investigators in the fucking world. They've traveled everywhere. They're both passed away now. They had museums, or they still have, I think their son-in-law has it now, dedicated to the haunted objects that they took from places. They were contacted, and they did a very thorough investigation. It was actually covered by Channel 5 News. Wow. Like, the news crew came and fucking with the Warrens and did it. That's crazy. Ed Warren said this was the most terrifying case he had ever worked on in his entire life. He said it was infested with a demonic presence. They had a seance.
Demonic president?
A demonic president. Yes.
Oh, president.
No, I'm joking.
President.
Presence. I said it weird. I have a list, remember?
Well, I thought you were saying precedent at first. And
no.
Wait.
Demonic
president?
Demonic presence. Like, it was.
I gotcha. I'm fucking with you. Okay. Demonic presence was in the house, and it's confirmed by the Warrens, right?
Yes. That was Ed. They held a seance because Lorraine was a medium.
Right.
They held a seance, and Lorraine said she saw a hooded figure at the top of the stairs. She said this house is beyond haunted by something demonic. It is not a human spirit. It never was a human spirit. Oh. They left. She said it was one of the most dangerous investigations of her career. So many things happened. Like, if you want to know what happened with just the Warrens, go ahead and go look that up on your own, because it's so much. Yeah. Like, so many different things, like bad things they claimed happened. And they have videos, they have footage, they have voice recordings, they have all of that. The Lutz later collaborated with an author named Jay Anson to publish their story, The Amityville Horror, which is what we know today. Okay, obviously, the book and the movies are overdone because we have to scare the world.
Yeah, you know although that is all pretty
I mean, it is. A lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people think they're crazy and needed money, and that's how they got their money. I mean, but I don't know. But there's more. The two families that lived there after them, like, because other people bought the house after they left, an older couple bought the house, just a husband and wife, 0 claims of paranormal activity for 10 years. 10 years. And then another family bought it after that, 0 claims. That's Yeah, they actually had to change the address to stop the floods of unwanted people because everyone wants to sell the house. Because see the house, not sell it. Because everyone wants to see it. Everyone knows about it. Like even if you're not a horror fan,
right? Everyone's
you
heard
know
of Amityville
this house.
Hoarder.
Like you.
Amityville,
we just can't
the
talk
demonic
anymore.
hoarder.
Literally,
God.
we just can't talk right now.
Oh
but
my gosh.
you know the house. But a lot of people think it's bullshit. A lot of people think they falsified claims. They kind of took the murders because the murders did happen.
Yeah,
100%.
To get the Warrens in on it too, though,
my thing is the Warrens, because the Warrens, I am a believer of the Warrens. A lot of people aren't.
How could they not be though? I don't know.
My thing is why was nothing before either?
Yeah.
Some things said that the house was put on a tribal burial ground. Some things said it was placed on. I mean, I tried to look why would it be haunted, and why all of a sudden, because the house was built in the 20s and they bought it in the 40s, or 50s. Was it 50s? Yeah. So, no, I lied, 60. So, what happened before that? Yeah. Who owned it before that? And I could, not find anything.
Huh.
It's,
weird.
I don't know. These kind of cases, just,
It's it only happened during a certain time period, right?
Yeah.
It's a couple decades to where...
The 60s to the 70s,
literally. The newer owners didn't have any issue. And the only thing I could think of is they didn't have kids,
No,
maybe,
I lied. This is only a year. This is from 1960... 1976, so 16 years.
Okay.
Because they lived... Wait, no, that can't be right. Did I get the dates wrong? I don't know.
But either way, before and after, it didn't... The newer residents didn't have... And they didn't have kids, so maybe it was, attracted to kids or something, poltergeist type. But this sounds more demonic, and...
Yeah, because...
something opened up and let it in, and then... It was gone.
Yeah, the DeFeos lived there for a while.
Yeah.
They lived there, and it it became a thing. And then eventually the son killed everybody. And then a year after that is whenever the Lutzes bought it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I get into the weird theories that I have of here's where my brain goes. If you do have a severe mental illness, say schizophrenia, where you are having hallucinations and you are hearing things and believing things are real, can you fester and manifest it? You know what I mean? Where
can you make it evil?
Yeah. Almost okay, I hear this and I feel this and I know this is real, where you almost
create it.
Materialize it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you believe it enough that it actually appears. Yeah. Maybe he summoned, or, maybe that kid having these, he obviously already had mental health issues.
Yeah.
And if he had something, say schizophrenia, something that would cause paranoid delusions, anything like that, maybe he materialized, manifested this, or invited this demon somehow, and that would explain why it wasn't there before,
right?
And then maybe it left when the Warrens came in and they did all this, if this was really this, I think it had to be there. It had to be a real thing. Maybe the Warrens were able to, they were strong enough with all of that.
Well, maybe the fear fed it, because they had to have been scared. You bought a house where not even a year and a month ago, an entire family was murdered in it. And you buy this house, maybe their fear fed it. Or maybe their fear turned into something that wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? There's so many
theories.
Some people 100% believe they sat down and fabricated this entire story to make money. 100%, which I could see. I could see that. But on the other hand, you have the preacher that came in. Unless he was in on the story, which I would hope a preacher wouldn't be, but preachers have done worse things.
Right.
And then you have the Warrens.
Yeah. And the other paranormal investigators too, right?
Yes. Because they called the Warrens. So
so they would have had to bring all of them in and get them all on
Or maybe
board.
they paid them all off. You know what I mean? There's so much. Because they became rich from these stories. We still talk about them today. Obviously, we're doing a podcast in 2025 about it.
Right.
They still... I think there's 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
There's Amityville 1, Amityville 2, Amityville 3.
It's a whole
franchise.
And
then they remade it with Ryan Reynolds because he's George. He's the dad in the newest one.
Oh, I don't think I've seen the newer one.
It's not new. It's 2000s maybe.
Okay. I'll have to watch that sometime.
Early 2000s. It's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds actually does really good at serious roles, even though he doesn't play a lot of serious roles.
Yeah.
He does. He does pretty good.
He's a very versatile,
broad,
is the word I'm looking for, where he can, do a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's... Do you believe it? You believe it happened? You think it was a real thing?
I think it was probably haunted. Simple. I think, and then we fabricated a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think green slime oozed from a wall.
Right.
I don't think she was thrown from the fucking bed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Some
she wasn't
of it was
touched.
definitely
Exactly dramatized.
added to, yeah.
I'm not saying any of that. Maybe that night the furnace wouldn't start. Maybe it was just several things happened at once. Instead of them just running and leaving in the middle of the night. They didn't. We're also in the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, we can Google are spirits real and figure out for ourselves what we believe versus these people who couldn't. So maybe it just scared the fuck out of them.
Yep.
And maybe they told a story who told a story. But still, I cannot get around the Warrens.
Yeah.
Because they have done so many investigations, so many different things. Like, if you believe in the Warrens, you believe this is true.
Right.
Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But if you don't believe in the
At least
Warrens,
to some
if you
extent,
think this is all bullshit, then I don't think it's true.
Yeah. I don't know how the Warrens couldn't be at least somewhat
Right.
real. Well, I believe in mediums anyway because
Right.
of the stuff I do, but like
I want to do a whole fucking episode on the Warrens.
Yeah.
I think that would be really
Yeah.
cool.
because there's so much to them.
Oh my gosh, so much. So much. And there are things they bring back and like the things it does to people and okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you need to get a hold of us for any rhyme or reason, you can do so at only if you can keep up at gmail.com. Thanks
Stay
for
spooky.
listening. Stay spooky. Not, what'd you say in the beginning? Was it frisky?
Frisky.
Was it frisky? No, it wasn't.
Freaky.
Freaky.
Say freaky.
Not freaky, spooky. Okay, bye.
Bye.